Hello again, boys and girls. It's time for another episode of Storytime with the Pittsfield Police Department. My name is Chief Wynn, and I'm going to be your reader. And today, it's a Sunday, and I thought we would start and try something new. We're going to try a chapter book. And for our first chapter book, I have chosen another book from our local hero and my friend, Allan Jackson. And we're going to start with his first book, Danny Dollar, Millionaire Extraordinaire, The Lemonade Escapade. And again, Danny Dollar, Millionaire Extraordinaire, The Lemonade Escapade was written by Allan Jackson. And it is dedicated to you. Yeah, you. Dream bigger. There's nothing you can't do. Now get booking. Danny Dollar, Millionaire Extraordinaire, The Lemonade Escapade by Allan Jackson. Let me introduce myself. Danny Dollar, millionaire. Yes, you read it right. Millionaire. Okay, I'm not a millionaire yet, but I'm gonna be. Yep, this little knucklehead kid is gonna make it big. Not only will I become a millionaire, I've got a plan to do it by the time I'm 21 years old. That's about 10 years from now. And I'll tell you how I'm going to do it in one word. Investing. That's right, I said investing. Okay, you might be asking yourself, what the heck is investing? Well, I'll tell you, but first, a little bit about me. I live in the Eastchester section of the Bronx, New York, along with my mom, dad, and older sister. I'm your typical kid. I love music. I really love basketball. But the one thing I love the most is, well, money. Now I know everyone loves money, but not like me. I'm a money maniac. I love money like other kids love candy. I know everything there is to know about money. For example, did you know that the first forms of money were animals like cows? Yep, cows. People would trade cattle and other animals for things they wanted. That's called bartering. Bartering is when you trade something you have for something you want. Imagine going to the sneaker store and telling the guy behind the counter, "Yo, I'll give you 3 cows for these sneakers." With tax, it comes up to 3 cows and 2 chickens. Dang, that would be crazy. In case you're wondering how I earn the money that I love so much, well, duh, I have a job. Actually, I've got a few jobs. I walk Mrs. Gonzalez's dogs before and after school. Cha-ching! I go to the store for Mr. Milton every other day. He's kind of old. Cha-ching! I rake leaves in the fall, shovel snow in the winter, wash cars and mow lawns in the summer. Cha-ching! 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 You get the picture. By the end of the week, I'm hauling in about $100. That's serious paper for an 11-year-old kid. Every Saturday, I'm off to my favorite place in the world, the bank. Yup, the bank. The people there are crazy cool. As soon as I walk in, the security guard, Mr. Block, always says, "Dollar Dan, the man with the plan." And I say, "Mr. Block got the bank on lock." I really like that dude. Then I go to the same teller, Mrs. Susan Anthony. She always greets me with, "Good morning, Mr. Dollar." Mr. Dollar, man, do I like the sound of that. I deposit all I've earned throughout the week, except for $10 that I keep for playing around with. After Mrs. Anthony updates my bank book, I give her a little wink. She winks back, and it's a wrap. I'm done. I'm almost floating on the way back home, thinking about how much money I've saved. And what I'm saving for is awesome. It's big, it's huge, it's colossal. It's part of my goal to becoming a millionaire. Okay, I'll tell you. You know how some kids want to be a big-time basketball player? Well, not me. I want to be a big-time basketball team owner, just like my idol, Rocky Austin. Mr. Austin started out flipping burgers as a kid and now owns a $1 billion fast food chain called Flippin' Burgers. And he owns the Texas Mustangs basketball team too. So now you've got it. I want to own a basketball team. That's my dream. How am I going to get enough money to own a basketball team? I told you earlier. Investing. Here's the plan, so pay attention. Investing means taking your money and buying something that will make you more money, like a stock or a bond. With a stock, you pay money to a company and then you actually own a small part of that company. For example, the Yola Cola Company. They make my favorite soft drink. Let's say I own stock in Yola Cola. When they make a lot of money, I get a piece. So the more stock I own, the bigger the piece I get. If Yola Cola doesn't make money, I could lose some of the money I've invested. Sounds risky, I know, but like my dad always says, no risk, no reward. A bond is a little less risky than buying stock. With a bond, you let a business or the government borrow your money, and they promise to give that money back with interest. Interest is money they give you for letting them borrow your money. Sometimes I loan my big head sister $5 and I charge her $2 to borrow my $5. When she pays me back, she has to give me $7. I just made $2 in interest for loaning her only $5. Get it? Sounds cool, right? Although sometimes she tries to jerk me out of my $2, so I hold her diary hostage. Ha ha ha! Works every time. So I take most of the money that I earn and put it into the bank or invest it into stocks and bonds. The money I earn in interest or by investing, I reinvest into other things. That's called diversifying. Diversifying is when you invest your money into different things to try and make more money. Are you getting all of this? I know it's a lot to swallow. You should have seen me try and explain all this to my parents. Their heads are still spinning. But when they're sitting in the skybox watching my team win a championship, I'm sure they'll say to each other, that Yola Cola stock really paid off. Yup, one day I'm going to be a millionaire. I'll be a successful Wall Street investor who owns a professional basketball team, who gives to charities and helps those less fortunate, who conquers the global financial industry. I'm going to achieve all my goals and dreams. But being a future millionaire isn't easy. There's a lot of responsibility that goes with being Dan the Man. Responsibility and sacrifice. But until I become a millionaire, I've got poop to pick up. Let me explain. Just the other day I was playing basketball with the guys when the alarm on my watch went off. It was 4 o'clock and time for me to walk Mrs. Gonzalez's dogs. We were winning 30-20. The game was intense. The guys begged me not to go. But I made a promise to Mrs. Gonzalez that I would be on time. It was her bingo night and she couldn't be late. So I couldn't be late. That meant leaving before the game was over. I had my friend Noogie take my place playing ball, which did not make the guys on my team happy. They called me a peanut head. Can you believe that? But I would rather be called a peanut head than be called irresponsible. Because of Noogie, my team lost the game 30-40. After I left, they didn't score another point, and they called me a peanut head. When I got to Mrs. G's house, those dogs were bugging out. There are 3 of them, all Chihuahuas, Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria. Walking them was a nightmare. First, Nina picked a fight with a huge pit bull. She was barking like that dog owed her money. The funny thing was the pit bull backed down. You had to see it to believe it. Then Pinta had an accident on Pablo's new sneakers. Pablo was the neighborhood bully. He was furious and vowed he would get me back. I told him that it wasn't my fault. A dog's got to do what a dog's got to do. As I walked away, I shouted, "See you later!" He didn't like that at all. To make things worse, Santa Maria got loose and decided to chase pigeons. Then the pigeons decided to use her as target practice. Guess who had to give Santa Maria a bath? Yup, Peanut Head. Did I mention I have to pick up their poop? Oh well, it was worth it. Mrs. G gave me $10 for walking her dogs, plus a $5 tip for washing Santa Maria. Cha-ching! That's $15 for about 1 hour of work. Not bad, but that's nothing compared to the money I make with the lemonade stand that I've got planned. That has been the introduction to Danny Dollar Millionaire Extraordinaire, The Lemonade Escapade by Allan Jackson. And we're going to do this one chapter at a time. So I'll see you soon for chapter 1.